Imagine a fire, not one sparked by a stray match or faulty wiring, but a fire that ignites from within, a blaze that consumes a human body with an impossible heat, leaving behind little more than a pile of ash and a single baffling question: how? Welcome to EnfinityCast, where we peer into the shadows of the unexplained. I'm your host, Vesper Thorne, and joining me to sift through these ashes is my co-host, Rhett Azure.
Thanks, Vesper. It's a topic that genuinely sends a shiver down my spine. Spontaneous human combustion, or SHC. It sounds like a pulp horror trope, but the historical record is littered with these deeply disturbing accounts.
It is, and one of the most famous cases is that of Mary Reeser in 1951. Her landlady tried the doorknob to her apartment and found it was hot to the touch. When authorities finally got inside, there was almost nothing left of Mary. Just a pile of greasy ashes, her skull, which had reportedly shrunk to the size of a teacup, and her left foot, still wearing its slipper, completely untouched. And that's the truly bizarre part. The sheer intensity of the heat required to cremate a body to that degree is immense, over 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet, in Mary's case, a stack of newspapers just a few feet away was unsinged. The rest of the apartment had little more than a layer of oily soot. How can a fire be that localized and that specific? It defies logic. Now, science does have a leading theory, doesn't it, Rhett?
It does, and it's called the Wick Effect. The theory posits that a human body acts as a wick, while their body fat serves as the fuel source, like wax in a candle. An external ignition source, maybe a dropped cigarette or a spark from a nearby heater, starts a small, slow, smoldering fire that is then contained by the body itself, allowing it to burn for hours.
A human candle. It's a grisly but plausible image. It explains the greasy residue and the localized nature of the fire. But it doesn't explain everything. It doesn't account for the near total incineration of bones, which even modern crematoriums struggle to achieve. And it certainly doesn't explain the cases where victims were last seen alive just minutes before being found.
Exactly. Take the 1966 case of Dr. John Bentley. A meter reader found nothing but his lower leg at a walker in a bathroom. A perfectly circular hole had been burned through the floorboards beneath him, but the rest of the room was fine. The Wick Effect requires a slow burn over hours, but some of these cases seem to have happened with terrifying speed.
So if it's not the Wick Effect, what are we left with? The theories get stranger. Some have proposed a massive buildup of static electricity. Others speculate about an unknown biochemical reaction in the gut, producing highly flammable methane. There's even talk of subatomic particles called pyrotrons that don't officially exist.
And that's where we leave the realm of hard science and enter pure speculation. But the evidence, or lack thereof, is what keeps the mystery alive. The common thread seems to be victims who are elderly, often isolated, and found in a state of almost complete incineration, while the world just feet away from them remains perfectly normal.
It's the ultimate internal horror, not an external monster or a phantom, but the idea that our own chemistry, our own biology, could betray us in such a final, fiery way. The evidence is inconclusive, the theories are full of holes, and the ashes offer no clues.
It remains one of the most chilling and persistent mysteries, a puzzle where the most crucial piece, the victim, is gone, erased by a fire that shouldn't have been possible.
And on that unsettling thought, we must extinguish the flames for today. Join us next time on EnfinityCast as we explore the silent coded messages of the world's most famous undiscovered ciphers. Until then, stay curious.